welcome to Looking at the Markets with David Modell. Today I'm going to present to you 10 stocks that are all under $10 a share, and so they are fairly affordable to investors with smaller accounts. And just because I'm talking about a stock, that doesn't mean that you should buy it necessarily. I want you to make your own decisions, do your own due diligence, research any company for yourself before you buy it. Now, these stock charts that I'll be showing you today are from trendspider.com. So if you want to get these awesome charts, you can go to the link in the description below this video and click on it, and it will take you to trendspider.com. All right, the first company with shares below $10 is Nokia, ticker symbol NOK. And you're probably, or you might be familiar with Nokia. They are based in Finland. And they are a technology company, and the shares, at least as I'm recording this video, shares are $3.50 a share. Pretty affordable, I would imagine, for most people. Now, just because it's cheap, that doesn't mean that it's cheap relative to itself. You know, is it cheap compared to the price action from the past? Well, I'm looking at the Bollinger Bands. It's closer to the top one than the bottom one. Looking at the RSI, it's closer to the top than the bottom, so I don't think it's that cheap right now. I would want to see this closer to $3. I think $3 would be a better price for Nokia stock, and so I'm going to be patient and I'm going to wait to see if it gets there. And then I will consider buying at that price. Another stock that coincidentally I wouldn't mind buying at the $3 level is Nio, which is an electric vehicle company based in China, and $3.74 per share right now as I'm making the video. It's at the top upper Bollinger Band. It's closer to the top than the bottom on the RSI indicator, so not a price I would want to buy it right now. So again, I would want this closer to $3. That would be, I think, a pretty good price to consider starting to accumulate shares. All right, so those are my first two that you might be more familiar with. Now for some companies that you might not be as familiar with, and so I will explain them a little bit. First one is in the esports or online betting niche or sector. It is GMBL. Kind of looks like gamble, right? Esports Entertainment Group operates as an online gambling platform, offers bet exchange style wagering on esports events in a licensed, regulated, and secure platform to the global esports audience. So I think that's a pretty good industry to consider investing in, and this is one way to do it, GMBL. Or it might be a gamble, because all these are speculative in one way or another. But yeah, it's closer to the top, the upper Bollinger Band than the bottom one. So once again, 3. I don't know what it is about that number today, but I think 3 would be a pretty good price for this one. It was down there before, not that long ago, so it could easily get there again. So that's something to think about. Esports Entertainment Group. Might consider it. Here's another one that you might consider. USEG, US Energy Corp. An independent energy company which engages in the acquisition and development of oil and natural gas properties. This is an older company. It goes back to 1966 when it was founded. And energy has been beaten down recently, so this may be one to consider. USEG. Let's see. Just because it's cheap doesn't mean it's cheap relative to itself. Definitely not cheap on a historical price basis here. It's way up at the upper Bollinger Band and on the RSI. It's touching over or close to overbought. So I'm not liking the price now. I want this to come down to 4 at least, maybe even lower. But 4 would be at least better than $4.95. So you can believe in the company doesn't mean you're going to buy it at this price necessarily. It's been down to 4. It's been lower than that. So I don't think 4 is too much to ask for USEG stock. What about auto parts? PRTS, parts almost, right? US Auto Parts Network engages in the provision of automotive aftermarket parts. Includes collision parts, engine parts, performance parts, and accessories. So let's check out parts. I think it's a pretty good industry to be in. When people need auto parts, they need them. It's not really so much of a luxury. Way too expensive right now. My goodness, it actually pushed up the upper Bollinger Band. So far too expensive. I want to see this thing get at least down to 3. Yeah, and that's not asking for too much. I mean, this really, I don't think it's necessarily meant to be a $5 stock. And look at the RSI, way above 70. It's at 87.46 on the RSI. So we missed the move if we're not in already, unfortunately. I mean, this was a $1 stock not that long ago, so I want to see this thing come down. So 3 would be good. 3 would be reasonable, I think, considering how far it's come, or at least more reasonable. It's too bad if we miss the move, but you just have to be patient. Wait for the price to come to you. Don't try to force it. Next one, this is actually a well-known company in the tanker space. Nordic American Tankers, NAT, N-A-T, is the ticker symbol, an international tanker company. This is something to possibly put on your watch list because there was an oil price decline recently, a very sharp decline, partially because there's not enough storage space. And so now the tankers did go up and they're coming back down. But if it comes down enough, it might be worth getting in there again because I feel that there might still be a need for space to store barrels of oil. So NAT, let's see how the price is looking. Let's see. All right, yeah, it came down. Went up to, looks like maybe 8 or something like that. But it came down to about the $5 level, which is more reasonable. It's near the midline on the Bollinger Bands. And very close to the 50 line on the RSI. So would I like to see it at, how about 4? I think 4 would be reasonable for this one. Yeah, I think that it was at 4 not that long ago. Actually, it was at 2 and change not that long ago. So yeah, why not? Why couldn't it get back to 4 at some point, especially since it's coming down rapidly? So that is a possibility. Next one is MMX. Mavericks Metals engages in the evaluation and acquisition of mining, royalties, and precious metals streams. I do like the royalty/streaming business model for metals. For example, FNV, Franco-Nevada, is a well-known one, but it's more expensive, whereas Mavericks Metals is a way to get in there if you perhaps don't have a lot of money to invest. MMX is the ticker symbol. And I will take a look at that one right now. As I'm recording this, it's $4.35. It's unfortunate that we haven't seen any that are at the lower Bollinger Band or the 30 level on the RSI. So you just have to be patient. These are ones to put on your watch list. I don't see why this couldn't get to 4, perhaps even in the near future. All right, so yeah, I like this one at 4. Would it be better at 3? Of course. Might not get there. On most of this chart here, we didn't see it at 3. Although it was there not that long ago. But 4 would be perhaps a time to start accumulating, something to think about. But you have to make your own decision, of course. And here's a well-known gold miner. Not just gold, also silver and copper. It is Kinross Gold Corp. And if you want to get into the mining industry, this is a more affordable way to do it. All right, KGC. Let's take a look. Now, these are all speculative, and gold companies, you have to be aware that they are speculative. They are big movers. So just please be aware of that. It is too expensive right now, as you can see, closer to the top than the bottom on both of these indicators. I wouldn't mind this at 5. I think 5 would be good. That's perfectly realistic, considering the price action. It was at 5 once, came to 5 again, went down, went above 5, now it's above 5. These things make big moves. It's not like we're asking a Dow Jones type of company to come down 20 or 30%. This is a gold miner, and so 20% moves, 30% moves do happen. They happen all the time, actually. So, or not all the time, but they happen more frequently with these lower priced stocks than with usually than with more expensive stocks. Not always, but so yeah, I'd like this at 5. That would be pretty good. Let's take a look at IDN. IntelliCheck engages in the development, integration, and marketing of threat and identity authentication solutions. So basically, it's cybersecurity. All right, IDN, kind of like identity, right? All right, let's take a look. IDN, here we go. IntelliCheck. Way too high, but it's above the 70 on the RSI. It's at the upper Bollinger Band. I'd like this at 5. I don't think that's asking for too much. I could see it coming down to 5. So once again, a lot of examples today that just because it's cheap doesn't mean it's cheap right now. But I would put this on my watch list if you believe that cybersecurity is going to be a necessary thing in the future. And yeah, it probably will. And this is one of the players in the space. Next one is NVCN. Nio Vasic Inc. engages in the development, manufacture, and marketing of medical devices. So medical devices, for obvious reasons, are very important right now, life-saving right now in this crisis that we have going on. So now these are very speculative, these types of things, because a lot of it depends on approval from governments, that kind of thing. But this could be a big winner. NVCN. Let's take a look. There we go. And yeah, this is a pretty wild chart here, but at least it's not at the top. It has gone sideways for a while, and so that could mean a breakout could be coming. Those Bollinger Bands are really getting super tight there. It's above the 50. It's above the midpoint on the RSI, so I may not want to buy it right now. How about at $2? That would be a pretty good price, I think, for NVCN. All right, so there we go. That's 10. So I hope you enjoyed exploring these ideas. Perhaps a couple names that you know, and perhaps a lot of names that you may not know but might want to do your own research on and consider. And if you like the charts, you can check out trendspider.com. Link is in the description below this video. So thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Happy bargain hunting. I will talk to you again soon.